Shalom, everybody. Welcome to my classroom. My name is David. I am your Shabbat teacher. Should a Christian celebrate Halloween? Is there anything evil about a Christian dressing up as a princess or a cowboy and going around the block asking for candy? No, there is not. What seems innocent may not be it as much.
Trick or treat.
But you may well ask, why asking for candy must be on Halloween? Are you promoting that feast with innocuous costumes? There are things about Halloween that are anti-Christian and should be avoided. Believe it or not, most of our Halloween practices can be traced back to these old pagan rites and superstitions. October 31st has long been known as the Festival of the Dead. The origins of Halloween are Celtic in tradition as we know it, began over 1900 years ago in England, Ireland, and northern France, and have to do with observing the end of summer sacrifices to gods in Druidic tradition. The Celtic tribes and their priests, the Druids, celebrated this day as a marker for the change from life to death. Halloween is a real, sacred day for those who follow Wicca. In fact, it is one of two high and holy days for them. The Celtic belief of spirits being released is current, along with the worship of Samhain, the Lord of Death. Both are promoted as something to embrace on that day. There is no question in my mind that to those who believe and follow the practices of witchcraft, Halloween represents an opportunity to embrace the evil, devilish, dark. Christians should not be involved with occultist practice or divination. Note God's command against divination in Deuteronomy 18. Occultists believe Halloween is a time of transition between life and death. Some occult practitioners practiced divination and believed you could learn the secrets of life and wisdom by lying on a grave and listening to the messages from the long departed. Occultists also taught that spirits and ghosts left the grave during this night and would seek out warmth in their previous homes. Villagers, fearful of the possibility of being visited by the ghosts of past occupants, would dress up in costumes to scare the spirits on their way. They would also leave food and other treats at their door to appease the spirits, so they would not destroy their homes or crops, but instead move on down the road. That is the real reason why kids dress up in costumes today and go door to door, seeking treats. Occultists also would try to scare away the spirits by carving a scary face into a pumpkin. This horrible visage would hopefully move the spirit on to another home or village and spare that home from destruction. Sometimes, the villagers would light a candle and place it within the pumpkin and use it as a lantern, hence the name, jack-o'-lantern. This is the origin of carving pumpkins at Halloween. Participating in Halloween gives sanction to a holiday that promotes witches, divination, haunted houses, and other occultist practices. What does the Bible warn us about these things? Romans 12:2 from New Living Translation Bible Version. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. 1 Thessalonians 5:22. Abstain from all appearance of evil. 3 John 1:11. From English Standard Version. Beloved, do not imitate evil, but imitate good. Whoever does good is from God. Whoever does evil has not seen God. 1 Corinthians 10:21. From English Standard Version. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord, and the cup of demons. You cannot partake of the table of the Lord, and the table of demons. Ephesians 5:11. From English Standard Version. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. 1 Timothy 4:1. From English Standard Version. Now the Spirit expressly says that in later times, some will depart from the faith, by devoting themselves to deceitful spirits, and teachings of demons. 1 Thessalonians 5:21-22. From English Standard Version. But test everything. Hold fast what is good. Abstain from every form of evil. Isaiah 5:20. From English Standard Version. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Romans 12:21. From English Standard Version. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Ephesians 4:27. From English Standard Version. And give no opportunity to the devil. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? YAHUSHUA, our Messiah and Savior, followed the example of his father, YAHUVEH. John 5:19-20. Then answered YAHUSHUA, and said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do, for what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. For the Father loveth the Son, and sheweth him all things that himself doeth. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. If YAHUSHUA thought it was important for him to follow the will of his Father, don't you think it is important for us to follow the example YAHUSHUA set for you and me to follow?
If this video has blessed you, please subscribe to Yah's Lady in Red and share. Thank you.